My name is Chris Watler. My name is Chris Watler. I'm here today talking with Mr. Lewis Cofield. Oh, we can. Oh, okay. I thought you were just testing the mic. My name is Chris Watler. I'm here today talking with Lewis Cofield. Mr. Cofield and I both sit on the volunteer board of the Harlem Boys and Girls Club, and we are about to honor Mr. Cofield at our fall event and wanted to take an opportunity to speak with him about his history in Harlem and his history as a Buffalo soldier in World War II. Mr. Cofield, thank you for taking the opportunity to speak with us today.
That's all. Welcome. Welcome to it. I'm going to speak to you about the Buffalo Soldiers.
So I thought I'd start by just asking you about where you grew up and a little bit about your childhood, because you're 96 years old, right?
Yeah.
So your childhood is must have been interesting, kind of growing up in America.
Okay. I was I was born by in North Carolina, Greenville, North Carolina, and my father went to Florida to work in the field, working picking string beans and apples and stuff like that. He stayed there for a few years. Then he moved to Delaware. We was in Delaware. After 2 years, he sent for the family. Was 3 boys and 1 girl. There's 8 in the family. 8 in my family.
What year did you come to New York?
Well, I'm just coming to it. Now, my mother left Florida about, let's say about 1937, 38. Come to Delaware before I came to New York. Talk about a little bit about Florida.
So you were talking a little bit about growing up in Florida
Right.
and your dad
Yeah.
picking string beans
You know
and
that. Okay, that's finished. Now,
How are you feeling today?
feeling today like don't feel 95. I feel good. I feel good. And another thing that used to be in Florida, the Ku Klux Klans used to come to the black sections and upset the black people.
did you have personal experience
Yes,
confronting the Klan? You want to describe that a little bit?
What it is, they come to the black section in a grove, like you always see in a movie. It's much because the black section had about 24 blocks, and they would walk through that just to show what they was. After that, uh, now I have to go in my family part. Like I said, I had four in our family. The boys had to work on the farm. The girls had to go to the schools.
So in your family, the boys did the farm labor
Yeah.
and the girls went to the school. So you had one sister?
I had 4 sisters.
Okay. And what year was this?
That was 1935, 36, you know, 1936. Then what happened, my brother, one of my brothers, was working in a soda fountain, and they moved to New York, and the man brought him to New York to to shred sodas. So my brother sent for me, you know.
So that's how you first came to New York City. Did your whole family come with you, or
No,
just
that's
you
me
and your
my
brother?
That's me and my brother, you know. Like I say, my rest of my family is in Delaware. And Delaware, my father worked for DuPont's. He was a gardener. Any day any COFFIELD name can wait for DuPont. That's what he put in his will. But my niece and nephew, they don't care. That's another story.
Well, describe what was Harlem like when you first came to New York City?
Harlem was fun. Uh, the all the Hollywood people used to come to Harlem to the Savoy and used to see how we dance and how we clown, you know. And it was a lot of fun. All the bars was full, and we had pretty good jobs, you know, and all. But after that 1937, 38, I started working in a factory again. And by that time, the war broke out.
How did you first find out about the war?
They drafted me. yeah, they drafted me, you know. And I might have been about 20, 22, 21. I guess I really was. Anyway, I went to the Army, and I was late going to meet the group and everything. Got AWOL for that. But after I met the group, then they took that AWOL off. Then I went to Fort out there out of New York. What do you call that port? Not here. Anyway, we stayed there and got our training and the thing.
So your training began in New York?
Yeah. You know, and the beginning in New York, we was getting $20 a month, and that $20 went to my mother. I took only $5. Then we moved to Devil Island, got our training. Then we moved to Alabama. That's when it really started. They give us our uniform, pistols. Another thing I'm going to tell you, I was the MP in the regular army. They picked me right out, beginning. You were one of the MPs, you had to.
So you didn't have a choice. They told you where you were going.
Yeah. The whole black soldier, that's what they tell you. If you want to be a sergeant, they tell you when to be a sergeant. You know, so in other words, they picked me to be military police. I went through the training as being a military police. It's just ain't being to put that badge on. I make it short. Read it out there. Make our soldier dress right, with your collar over, things like that. That's what we used to do. That's what we did there in 4 Mile. Then we went to Georgia, Alabama, Alabama. That's when it started firing. And that's when we got our equipment and everything. Then, like I said, the MP was only about 50 of us. We went to the fire run with our arm, and the man gave us 1 bullet at a time.
So I thought that was an interesting. You had mentioned that to me before, that as you are training on the rifle range, that someone is going down the line handing the African American soldiers 1 bullet at a time,
Right.
and that was different than.
That was during the 41. During the 41. We are training for that, you know. Because before that, we didn't have no blacks in the Army. Didn't have no blacks in the Army. Until the NAACP made it up stress to have blacks in it, because this is our country too. So that's how the black soldier got to be in the Army. You know? So on the range, at the camp, Guy gave us our badge to put on our arms, our things, gave our pistols to carry with no bullets. Then when we go out to the range, lay down, we learn how to shoot a rifle. They don't want you, no. But they don't give you one bullet at a time. You put it up, bang, put it down, they hand you another bullet. Oh, we did that for about 2 hours. Like, but we didn't care. I mean, we didn't make no fuss over it because we knew how they treat blacks. You know, that's how they treat black. But most of us are from the north. That's what it was. We was from the north.
Yeah.
And we understood what it was. And the lieutenant told all the people from the north, treat yourself like a soldier. Like a soldier. But anyway, we had pretty good, lieutenants was good to the black people. They were really good. So yeah, a soldier. But uh, after the range, we were sent overseas. We backed our duffel bag, went down to the ship. You know what? Took us 30 days to get to Italy. Because the boys keep get rid of the submarines. They kept digging and roll. You know, it took us a whole month to get to Port of Sydney.
So they were zigzagging to
Okay,
avoid
yeah.
the submarines at the time.
Because I got sick on that too.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, what was it? What was the reception for black soldiers in the army? How were you treated by white soldiers? Because at that time it was segregated units.
Treated that like we was in the South. They didn't make no difference. They ain't no difference. They treated me, maybe one or two people might be okay. Because I met a guy, I was on a freight train guarding our artillery. And this white guy, me, was on the train. And I said, why you hate blacks so? He said, you know what? We don't hate them, but that's what we got to tell our parents. I had to tell our parents. That's what happened. He said, but we really don't hate them. Because we played together. We the kids, we played together. Black and white kids, you know. But now I'm getting it further in the army. We got overseas. We got video, something like that, station. That's when they load us up with money, with pistols and rifles and everything.
Now, where did you arrive? Where did you first?
On the border.
Were you? Did you go to France initially?
No.
Where?
It was in Italy.
Oh, so you went to Italy straight away.
That's where the German and Italian was fighting. They had a big line. Matter of fact, they were taking over Italy. So the 92nd Division, 10th Division was the white, and the Japanese was the second with you. They was really nice. The Japanese, they could fight and all.
American Japanese?
Yeah, American Japanese, the whole army.
So there were segregated units also for the Japanese, for blacks. Yeah.
Black was selling, the white was selling. Yeah, they was in the army. They was, but you see, they never mentioned it.
Yeah.
They never mentioned it. You know, so they never mentioned it. So in my,
American Japanese soldiers in Italy.
that's right.
Fighting the Germans.
That's right. You mean at the end of the war? That's right. I was fighting the soldiers, and they were the best in the United States Army. They could fight. They were even better than us.
So you saw you were fighting on, alongside the Japanese soldiers, blacks, whites.
On one side.
Yeah.
They didn't mention the black, white most. Most of them mentioned the black and Japanese. You know. Then we fought all the way from Video up to Italy, up to Rome. Every day we fought. Since I was an MP, I was always in the rear, we call it rear end. That means the soldiers on the line couldn't run back and drop the guns. We were there to check the rest of this.
So as an MP, one of your duties was to stay behind and make sure that as the army moved forward, that everyone moved forward.
Not know anybody come back.
What would happen if someone came back?
We had to shoot him. One MP got shot. But most of the time, on my section, I had a M1 and a 45. M1 on my back and 45 in my hand. And I see a soldier from a distance from this building. I make him drop his arm. Drop your arms. Drop the rifle. I said, I will shoot you if you don't drop your rifle.
When did you become a Buffalo soldier?
Huh?
When did you become a Buffalo soldier?
Wait a minute, Buffalo soldier? I already was a Buffalo soldier.
Yeah, I think the idea is that these black units were configured, particularly as part of the legacy of African Americans in the army, because the original Buffalo soldiers actually protected white settlers.
Buffalo soldiers were fighting the Indians. That's where they got their name. The black Buffalo soldier. They was fighting the Indians during that time of war. They wasn't fighting no. They wasn't fighting no black. They was only fighting the Indians. You know. So that's where the Buffalo soldier. The Indian named the Buffalo soldiers. Yeah, you know. So that's how we got the name of Buffalo soldier. You know.
Talk about so in describing the Buffalo soldiers, what about the hair was important?
Yeah, that hair. We had straight hair. Most of you remember when we had straight long hair. We had straight long hair like thing. But eventually it was over. After you couldn't get no hair, couldn't do no dues, we just came back to that being natural. You know. And we also had wax in there. Black wax, black soldiers. They had that also in there.
So you're in Italy. You're in the fight. Did you ever personally have to confront someone coming back?
Yeah, just like I told the guy to drop his arm. You know, he dropped his arm. I'm taking about 2 or 3 of them. But the same MP in my outfit, somebody shot him and killed him. That's why I was so sure they wasn't close enough to shoot me. You know, because they had their rifles and everything, and bullets.
We'll be back at you in a moment. So I'm here with Mr. Lewis Cofield, a Buffalo soldier, board member of the Harlem Boys and Girls Club, and member of the Convent Avenue Baptist Church. So, Mr. Cofield, you were talking about being in the Army, and I'm wondering what it was like when the war was coming to an end.
I know the war was over. I was guarding the jungles of van. And the guy jumped out of the van and said, "Hey, soldier, the war's over." That's how I got to know the war. Before anybody else. Before they even got broadcast, this guy jumped out of his van and told me, "War's over. War's over." That's how I knew the war was finished at that particular time, you know. But other than that, everything went smooth. We didn't shoot nobody. The Germans did everything right. And the American people, I said, part of that, what we didn't like, they were treating the German better than the blacks. Better than everybody. Please believe me, they were giving them everything they wanted to the blacks.
And so when you came back stateside, what was that like? You just finished fighting in World War II. You come back. You came back to Harlem.
Yeah. Got me a job.
What were you doing?
I was working in a hat factory, making hats, beginning. Then I got tired of that. Then I got to be a short order cook upstate of New York for the summer. Then I came back to New York.
And how did you come to get connected to the church, the Convent Avenue Baptist Church?
I was going with a girl. She was a nurse, and she said, because I wasn't no church person, she said, come. She had an anniversary. She was a nurse, so we have an anniversary at Convent Baptist Church. You mean? And I heard this woman sing one song. I liked it so much I came back, came back, came back. So about end of 1959, that's when I joined Convent. 1959, I joined Convent. Yeah, during that time. That's part of the army part then. But like I said, we didn't get no treatment, no understanding, didn't even get a parade when the war was over. They didn't even talk about us. They didn't even talk about us, you know. But like I say, we are giving people. We are giving people. We care how bad they might talk about us, but we pay it no mind because we got God in our heart and mind.
And how did you get involved with the Boys and Girls Club?
Reverend Wilson, he picked me, Clara McCullough, and a few others. See, we coming up to the cruise and clean up the school. Cruise, that's closed. We taking all the desks out and everything. And everything was that was what year was that? Hold on, hold on, hold on. That must be in the 60s or 70s. I mean, 60s or 70s. You mean?
So the school is the school on 145th Street.
Right.
Um,
We the one to clean up all the mess and everything on by that school. At the time, there was only about 4 or 5 of us joined that Reverend Wilson. Because at that time, that time was Randolph High School. That was in Randolph. That's Boys and Glove, Randolph. But after he died, then the office of convent changed it to Reverend Wilson. But the beginning was Randolph, Boys and Glove Club. And a lot of people don't even know that.
so initially it was named for A. Philip Randolph,
Right.
the labor organizer, and then when Reverend Wilson passed away, they named it after Reverend Wilson.
You mean? Yeah, that's what happened, you know. Because during that time, we had some people could really finish the job. But once they changed it to Reverend Wilson, they just dropped out. You know, just dropped out of it. But after that, part of church, then I joined the usher board. Somebody joined me. Come and join the usher board. Then I joined the usher board. I was still out in the street. I was still doing things that I shouldn't be doing. But you know what? Please believe this. God works in mysterious ways. What I say that, in my mind, he said, you put 1 foot on a manna skin and got 1 foot in the grease. Now you pick which one you want.
Is that what kept you alive all these years?
That's exactly what kept me alive. Because I don't know where it came from, how it came. I know I said that to myself. One out on the round peel and one in the grease. Now which one you going to take? You know which one I take. Banana, because that's not slippery as grease. You mean? So that's how I got to be part of Convent Baptist Church. You know. But other than that, then I got to be different thing. Then I started really working hard for the church. Not West Indian. Jehovah's Witness I was having a relationship with a Jehovah's Witness sister, and she said, Brother Cofield, I promise you, if you give God 10% of your salary, you see your life change. And my life changed.
So you began tithing and
Right
that
after
that
that.
that right after that, and that change that started some changes in
Changing
your
my
life.
life. You mean? And changing my life. And I tell everybody that treat God first, then you treat your mother. But God come first. And that's who I put first in all these years. I asked him my way, not his way, to use me in the best way I know how to do things.
Now, Mr. Cofield, you recently met with the president.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Uh, a guy at convent, he didn't know. He said, Caulfield. I said, what? Are you a Buffalo man? I said, yeah. I got somebody for you to meet. I said, meet whom? He said, he's a lieutenant in the army, and he wants you to meet the president. You know? So I wasn't even thinking about going to meet the president. It was cold and everything. My boss, somebody in the church called my boss. My boss said, you better go there and meet the president. And that's the reason I get to meet the president, because I had no intention of meeting him. I have no intention because it was cold and it was everything. And the guy said, where? And you see me with a coat on. Nobody else had a coat. My employer told me, wear a coat because it's cold, because he lived up that way. That's how I met the president. Okay.
And what was that like? What did he say to you? What did you say to him?
No, we said, thank you, President. It's really a pleasure meeting you. He said, no. It's a pleasure meeting you because you people got me where I'm at. And that's what he said. He said, you people got me where I'm at. If it wasn't for you all, I wouldn't be a president. And that's what he said. Then he shook out my hand, gave us a token, and went away.
Nice, nice. And so, what advice the Boys and Girls Club serves young people? What advice from your experience as an American, as a soldier, as a black man, what as a Harlemite, what advice would you give young people in Harlem today?
First, I told him, I said, I talk to young people often. I said, first thing, go to school, get an education. I said that then the limit is no problem to you. But you hang on the corner, you ain't gonna be nothing. And I said another thing, treat your mother and father with respect. Yeah. And I said, and go to school. Now, that's all I gotta tell you. Go to school and learn what you. And another thing I said, when you go to school or get out of the job, find something that you enjoy. Don't care what it is. I said, you enjoy doing what you do, then you're successful. But you draw something just to make money, you're not going to be successful. I said, drawing something that you love to do and want to do, then you will be successful. And that's what I give young people now.
Mr. Kofi, I want to thank you so much for allowing us to spend some time with you. I want to thank you for your service to this country and your service to the Harlem Boys and Girls Club. It's really because of you and those early board members that we are now able to have that building project on 145th Street, the old school building, turned into affordable housing and a new clubhouse for kids in Harlem. So thank you so much.
That's what Reverend Wilson said. That's what Reverend Wilson said. Our young people, we need to have a place for them to train and do the right thing. And that's how Harlem Boys and Girls Club began it. Like I said, he wasn't the owner, he just was part of it. Committee just was a founder of it. They're still founders of it. But they have nothing to do with it, running it. It's just the idea that the convent is responsible.
Well, couldn't have started it without convent. That's for sure.
Not convent. And Reverend Wilson was a powerful man. He was a powerful man. He knew everything. Yeah.
And what about Reverend Grant?
To me, Reverend Grant was a good teacher. He wasn't, no, I ain't gonna say that. He wasn't a good teacher. He teach classes out of this world. He could teach classes. And being a member of the convent, he just was just an average minister. He just was average minister like all the rest of the ministers come. But he wasn't a outspoken member, very quiet. And some people left the church because he was such a quiet speaker.
Humble man.
Yeah, yeah. You know, everybody said, yeah, but he was a humble man. You know, but to me, he wasn't like Williams. He wasn't like Reverend Grant or Reverend Wilson. You know, they were fire up the group. Reverend Grant he was a good pastor. He was a good pastor. He was a good pastor. And all, you know. And in my life, and all my family, I only have family, young people now. People do, but I enjoy my life, how God kept me here for all these years. Each part, each part that He let me live to see things that I never thought I'd see again, and that is seeing the new life of new president. I never dreamed it before, you know.
And so many people kind of, gave up on the club for many years, right? Because it was so much work getting this project. But you kept supporting the club, the Boys and Girls Club of Harlem, even today. Why?
Because it was young people. I never had no kids. All my family got flops of them, but I myself never had none. So I said that was a good thing in my sight to help them. And every time something came up, and God, I said this before, God works in mysterious ways. I had the money to help them out of crimes. With rent or something happened or something different. I had the money to do it. I had the money to do it. You mean I had the money because at the time. And they said, where you get the money? I said, because I'm a presser. I made good money. More money than I know how to spend. You know, I didn't know how to spend it, Joanne. And the church was my outlet. You know, outlet. And like I said, I appreciated that God had put me under His wing to bring me this far. Because I never in my life think I get to be 96 years old.
Well,
Never in my life think I'm get 96 years old.
Mr. Kofi, we are so glad that you are who you are. And again, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. And I look forward to continuing to work with you to support the Harlem Boys and Girls Club.
I was thinking the other day, we wait for the Boys and Club. Do we have a scholarship for kids to go to college? Do we
You
have
know,
that yet?
I don't think that we do yet.
I mean, that was it. I was laying in bed. I said, I never heard that we had a college fund for kids. I mean, where I would put it, you go to school, bring your bread to the Boys Club, and see how you had did in school and what the school. But like I say, I don't think we got a Boys Club.
Well, that you see, even at your age, new ideas keep coming out. That's a great idea. It's something the boys should take up.
I mean, some boys include, and I promise you, people will report it. That you got a scholarship for young kids, young girls and boys to go to college.
Thank you, Mr. Kofi.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, you ladies got something to ask me?
How come you didn't get married?
You see, I wasn't even going into that stuff because I think Mr. Kofi was having a good time in life. I took that away from it. So
That's why he lived to be 96. Never got married. Women worry to death. See? Living proof.
Yeah.